Hey, and welcome to map 25 of TNT Evilution. This is the Baron's Den, and we're going to grab this shotgun right at the start. We're going to take out the enemies in this circular room. Missed that fireball. So this opening room is fairly interesting to talk about because there's multiple directions you can head in at the start. There's a few enemies who are going to kind of come and say hi to us, so we are going to get rid of those before they wander in. I am going to drop down here because we get the super shotgun early in the level here. The downside to that is that we have to go this way, and there are quite a few enemies in this direction, all of whom are going to take great pleasure in shooting at me. So we've got to be careful here because it is very dark in here, and there's a bunch of enemies who will use us as target practice. You see there's a chain gunner and shotgunner there. Let's get rid of you. There's nothing there to note of. So as you head down this way, you can see we enter this kind of marble room here. There's a few enemies inside. We can't really go much further in this direction right now because we actually need the red key, and we won't be getting that for a hot minute. That chain gunner there was using me as target practice. Excuse me. So once we're done with that, we'll head this way. This is the way that we get out of here. There's a few pinkies and spectres for us to handle there. This lift will take us up here. So we're going to talk about the art direction of this level. I am not a fan of all these little kind of tunnels that are all kind of looking identical and brown like this. It's very easy in this level to get turned around and kind of get lost because everything kind of looks the same, like in the darkness and with the brown walls. This corridor looks similar to the corridor we were just in, and it's a problem that this level faces across the board. But as we head into this room here, you can see that we've got a lava floor here. There's a arachnotron there trying to make its way over to us. We best just get rid of it before it causes too much trouble. This is a fairly interesting room purely because you have to battle from the outside. You can't really stand in the lava or you'll lose health quickly, but there are incentives to wander into the lava, so you know it's worth kind of diving in to grab all that ammo. Again though, I have to say, not a fan of all these corridors looking exactly the same. We're going to head into there a bit later on. Don't really want to trigger that room right now. But we'll head up this direction here because this makes more logical sense in my opinion. So this room's kind of interesting. There's a mancubus up top there who, if you're not careful, will get you in the back and cause some nasty damage. There's some shotgunners there, and as we make our way up, the side wall there opens up, as well as the top of the room where we're being kind of launched upon from the arachnotrons up there. I just want to get rid of that one on the left. Get rid of you. Nice. So we can shoot you, and if we could drop into the lava here and hit this switch, we can actually head inside here. So we want to get rid of you, and oh, is there a fake wall there? I think there's a fake wall there. Yes, there is. So yeah, you can see this level loves to make use of its fake walls. So there's a secret here. If you open this up, there's a cell pack inside, which is going to be very useful as we make our way through the level here. So with this kind of little branch here sorted out, let's head back up the steps here. So you got to be careful. You don't want to fall into the lava. So this room here is fairly interesting because there's a giant staircase that goes around the outside of the room, and there are enemies in the middle who are shooting up at us, so we do want to make sure that we don't give them too much opportunity to take us out. There are various branching pathways off that, but as you can kind of see, again, we've got brown walls on either side of us and green floors, so you know, I hope you're keeping track of where you're going. My big problem with this level, I think, is that it's so easy to get turned around and kind of lose your bearings, and once you lose your bearings in this level, it can take you a good 10-15 minutes to find them again, because there's so many different directions this level likes to push you in. There we go, we got rid of it. So we've cleared all the enemies out there, and as we are heading down here, we don't want to go to the left because that doesn't open up. There's actually a fake wall here with the red key, and again, as I've said in the past, I get very kind of grumbly about keys being hidden behind fake walls and such. It's a bit of a cheap trick in my opinion, and in particular on a level like this where this area could be completely skipped over because it looks so much like other areas. I'm not a fan of that. I'm also not a fan of the fact that you can see the red key door there with those little bars, but you can't actually go into it because you have to hit a switch on the other side of the level. I think it's really bad design to kind of not make those sort of openable straight away, in particular on a level like this, because there's a good chance the player hasn't seen where the red switch is yet, and so they're not going to be able to actually get into that area for quite a while. It means a lot of unnecessary backtracking and confusion. So there's a teleporter there, and it brings us over to this side. So now that we're over this side, we can kind of come up here. This is the way that we popped into earlier. This is where I didn't want to come into earlier because I kind of knew we'd be coming in this direction. So as we come into this room, there's some bony boys on the outside. We want to make sure we take these guys out because we're going to have to clear out this room and then the next room just for good measure. So when you hit that and then you open this up, you can see this opens up this, but you don't really get all that long to kind of do things through the door there because it's on a timer. So we just got to be careful of that bony boy on the far side of the room here, because he could get a nasty shot in on us if he's lucky. So that hasn't opened up yet. You can see there's another bony boy over here. So we want to make sure that we're getting rid of all those. There's also some shotgunners around the edge of the room, but unfortunately right now I can't focus on them. They are not the priority problem here. There we go. Excellent. So as we kind of make our way up the steps there, you can see this has opened up. We just want to make sure that that pain elemental doesn't flood the level with too many of its lost souls. I don't mind a few of them, but like a few too many with this much health, always a bit dangerous. Gonna grab the yellow key here. So in order to get out of this room, we need to head up here. And we need to head into the lava pit over there. I am going to grab this supercharge because there's no reason not to. Let's try that. You can see this is the yellow door here. And it actually brings us out here. So again, this is something I really don't like about this level. You have to come down this lava tunnel here. And here's the thing, if you're not really paying attention or you're not sort of like looking out for little holes like that, you know, to enter, you may miss this entirely. And it's one of those things where I feel like this level doesn't signpost the way forward very well. I feel like there's a lot of interesting design ideas going on, and I think that in the best form they would be better signposted than what we actually get in this final level, because you end up kind of meandering around, and the only reason I'm kind of coherently moving forward here is because I've had plenty of experience with this level. But trust me, there have been plenty of times in the past, especially on streams, when I've kind of gotten lost and I've kind of had to double back, and triple back. But you can see this is opened up here. There's a megasphere. We want to grab that suit there before we lose too much health. So we're going to head out here. We're back in this room again. Going to grab the rad suit. If we go into this, we get a secret, which is always welcome. And now we've been kicked all the way back over here. So we're going to head back down here because I assume I've kind of forgotten this, but like, let's just see if I can work this out. I think we need to do something in here still. I think I haven't gone through a teleporter I meant to. So we go through the teleporter there. If we hit that switch, there we go. We come in here, and this brings us here, and okay, I'm a bit lost. Okay, not gonna lie, this is what I'm talking about. I'm a bit confused here, so just going to go back to square one here. I'm gonna see if I can hit that red switch that we were discussing earlier. No, it's back this way, isn't it? See what I mean? I'm not even... I have prepared for this level, and even now I'm struggling to sort of keep a coherent track on where we're actually meant to be going here. So it's not there. I think is it down here? It is. So that's the red bars we were talking about earlier. You can open those and head in this direction, but dear. I'll have a lot to say at the end of this level, but as we head on here, we get to kill these two barons here. It's worth killing them because you don't want them following you too far into the level, end of the level. When you hit this switch, it raises and lowers this lift here. The world's slowest lift, everybody. So you can see there's a bunch of enemies in here. We do need to come down here because they do have the blue key there. I'm trying to save cell ammo for the end of the level. So this is the other side of that room we were in earlier on. So we have come full circle here. We could have actually come this way if I'd remembered to come here earlier on. But again, you know, there is a point in this level where things get a bit too confusing, a bit meandering, a bit spaghetti junction, and it's very easy to find yourself kind of doubling back and tripling back, desperately trying to kind of find the way forward. So, yeah, that's all I've really got to say about that until the end of the level. We're heading to here. I do actually like the look of this room. It's very kind of interesting. Nice use of lighting and the lighting effects. Let's get rid of you before you wake too many enemies up for me. Just gonna get rid of you in one. So what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to use the super shotgun here. I want to try and keep as much cell ammo for the end of the level as possible. But you do need the blue key to progress to the end of the level here. Okay. Get rid of you. Okay, so the good thing is that Baron there who we just killed, if you allow it to happen, he can pin you in back at the lift there, and he, along with these Barons through the cages here, can prove an absolute nightmare to deal with. So he was my priority there in getting rid of. So let's get rid of these guys. This is a very interesting encounter because the limited space kind of pins you in and forces you to deal with 3 Barons, and if you kind of show up here without any cell ammo, it can be a real nasty experience. I mean, it's worth just talking about this level now, I guess. The fake out exit here doesn't bother me. In fact, I like fake out exits, so this is fine for me. But overall, I just find this level very frustrating. It's very difficult to kind of be positive about this one because everything just kind of doesn't work. Like these brown caverns here, like the way that the level doesn't signpost the way forward accurately, you know, and easily for the player to understand. There's a lot of meandering and back and forth and backtracking. It's just not a fun level to explore, because you'll do something on one side of the level, like get the red key, and then something will happen on the other side of the level. But because the whole level kind of looks the same and all those brown tunnels sort of meld into one, it's very hard to tell what's opened and what hasn't opened, where you've been previously. And I just think this level tries so hard to be avant-garde. It tries something completely different, and I appreciate that, I really do. But I just feel it turns into an absolute mess, and it's a directionless level that really struggles to kind of push the player forward. But let me know in the comments what you think of this one. Do you disagree with me? Do you like this one? Let me know, and thank you very much for watching this video.